Hey guys. Okay. Next one. This battle kind of goes to 1mil456, good buddy of mine. This first battle isn't really a battle. I wouldn't normally post this, but I found it quite funny. He has a pretty crazy Clefable set. It's kind of strange and weird as hell. And I brought my OU team, and I was like, yeah, just OU whore. This is my proper OU team. But he brings this Clefable. When I first saw this, when he used Cosmic Power, I thought, oh, Cosmic Power Belly Drum, but it isn't. I go for a Hammer Arm and I miss. And at first I was like stunned because I thought, hang on, Hammer Arm can't miss. Surely, I thought I could have sworn it had 100 accuracy. So I go for it again, thinking it'll hit, and then it misses again. So I'm a bit angry because I'm like, what? I could have sworn it had 100 accuracy. That made no sense to me. So I'm a bit bemused by that, but then I have a look and it is 90 accuracy, and now I feel like a bit of an idiot. And he pulls out the metronome and goes for a Fury Cutter, and I'm like, oh, it's one of these things. So he could pull out a Hydro Pump any minute. And then I go for the Hammer Arm, and look how much that Choice Banded Hammer Arm does. If I had hit the last two, it would have been dead years ago. You probably won't see this in times 2 speed, you might do, but the battle is actually really sluggish. It's kind of chugging along slowly because for some reason, even though we both had free bars, the connection was really bad. The first battle was okay. We had it DC'd a lot of times beforehand though because he had a Pokemon that was kind of fucked up. It was a Bronzong and it managed to clone itself 7 times in its box, which is kind of strange and a little bit freaky. But we eventually got it going. The first battle we had is after this, but this one was the second one we had, and I found it just kind of funny. So he sets up another Cosmic Power, and I go for another Hammer Arm, and look how close it brings it to dying. Look at that. I still don't see any HP. This is like the 7th time it's happened. Why, game? I swear, there hasn't been a video yet for 4th gen stuff that hasn't had that happen. I don't think. I could have sworn that like every single video I've done so far has had that happen, and it's getting kind of annoying, game. So sort it out. I don't want to see that crap anymore. And then he goes for soft boiled, and you saw how long it took for the animation to show up there. So, but I'm still just trying to hammer arm him, just trying to get rid of him because it's getting kind of annoying. And it takes forever for any move to work, and I hit another hammer arm. Oh my god, it's taking forever. I mean, look, you can see I have 3 bars. I mean, with the router that's now back in the other room, I don't normally get 3 bars, so maybe because I have 3 bars, it's being weird, and it's actually secretly saying that it's got quite a bad connection, but normally it just goes down to red, complains for 5 seconds, and then jumps back up again. So, we're still having this stall war here. I just want it to die, because I'm slightly angry that I missed my first 2 hammer arms, and I don't think I've ever missed one ever. Not that I regularly use hammer arm, because I've got like Rock Blast and EQ. But I go for it again, and as I notice, okay, he's slowly getting health back with each soft boil, and he's gonna have more soft boils by the end when I run out of hammer arms. And since he's at like +3, it isn't really gonna do it. So I think of another plan, and I think, well, I'll switch into my Melodic and I will tickle it. I will tickle it till it gets to the point where a waterfall will kill this stupid, retarded thing. I don't even know what it is. It has a quiff, and I despise Clefable. Even this is a well-trolly set. It has Metronome, and for fuck's sake, like Stealth Rock, Metronome, Soft Boiled, and Cosmic Power, and it's still trolling me. It's not even a real Clefable. I hate you. You fluffy ball of innocence that is actually Satan. It is Satan. I mean, come on. It's quite cute, but dear Jesus, I hate it so much. I remember Starmie when we used to battle a lot more, always brought a bloody Clefable, and I just hated seeing it because it's so good. Seriously, it should be like UU. It's insane. Anyway, I go for the tickle, though it's attack and defense, and I've got my plan set. I'm gonna tickle this thing till, you know, the end of time, or, you know, till it dies. And then he gets an amnesia, and I'm like, no, don't set up more! If Milotic dies, I have nothing to kill this thing. I have a Gira, but I'd have to DD up, and with Metronome, he could pull a bloody T-Bolt or a Shockwave. A Shockwave would be awful, although I probably would live it, because I do have max special D on my Gira. But still, I don't like the notion of it. I'd just rather sit here and tickle, because tickling is safe. Oh, I just love the notion of Tickle Melodic. Everyone, when I first made it and I showed it to people, they were like, what the fuck? Tickle Melodic? Okay, one, when did it ever get tickle? And two, why would you make it physical? And it's like, why not? That's what I always say when I make my pokes. Why the fuck not? And then he pulls a Synthesis, which I find quite funny, because he already has Soft Boil, and I was like, at least you're getting semi-shit moves. I kind of wish he'd get, like, Self-Destruct or something, or, like, Memento. Memento would be hilarious. I would love that. I would never stop laughing. And I'm still just trying to tickle it. I think it's at, back to normal defenses now. So, but, like I say, it's still a Clefable. I'd still, like, 1 or 2 more tickles on there before I try anything, like, waterfalling or setting up rain. He goes for the SR. As you can see, it took a while for that to happen. I mean, when we were sitting there playing, he was like, oh my god, it's taking forever. And I was like, wow. Have you got full bars? He was like, yeah. I was like, oh, that's quite strange. I go for the tickle. You can see, it looks like every single move we make, it's about to disconnect. There's just that pause where it's like, oh, is it gonna do it? Is it gonna do it? In fact, in between every single little bit of text, it looks like it's going to DC. Gets the Bug Bite. Hits the Milotic. How much did it do? I wasn't really looking. Oh. 12. Wow. That's amazing. Oh, and it DCs. Ah! It was bound to happen at one point. And now we can get into the real battle. I know I really shouldn't be using that first battle as a battle, but I just kind of found it funny. How a completely jokey Clefable, a complete, like, trollololol set, just still managed to own me. So now this is the, sort of standard one I asked for. He brings it in to start with, and I'm like, but, I wasn't really aware of what it was gonna do, so I just go for the Stealth Rocks to start with, because it's a Donphan, and that's what Donphans do. And he goes for the Cosmic Power, and then this is where I thought, oh, Cosmic Power Belly Drum. What the hell else did it get? Like, Double Edge, Meteor Mash, that kind of crap? I don't really know. I don't remember what I ran. I made a Clefairy, Cosmic Power Belly Drum set a long time ago, but I don't remember what I ran on it then, and I don't remember what any of them run now. I'm fairly adamant the Flaming Spade coined that set. Might have been him. Anyway, I go into Crobat, because I have Taunt and I don't care. And he sets up the Stealth Rocks, and that's where I see it like, oh, okay, this is kind of weird. Go for the Taunt. And this is where I see as the Metronome, and I'm like, oh, what? Metronome? Nah. Only Mel. Good old Mel. Anyway, he's going to switch out and go into his, what? His Oopsie, the little dopey brain thing. And I U-turn, and it does a crap ton, so I'm quite happy with that. I U-turn out, and I believe I go into, I go back into Donphan. What I really should have done, and what I really wished I had done, was gone into Kabutops. Because it was a T-Wave Zen Headbutt set, and it had Stealth Rocks itself, and it completely ruined my thought process for the rest of the game. So had I gone into that, I could have choice banned Night Slashed its ugly fucking face, and it would have died. But no. I come in, I Rapid Spin, and then, for the second time, I switch out, and as I switch out, he sets up Stealth Rocks. I'm getting kind of annoyed by this, because everything apart from Donphan and Kabutops, I believe, and Magnezone on my team are weak to Stealth Rocks. I don't like it. It's annoying, and with Lapras having so much fucking HP, when it gets hit by Stealth Rocks, it gets hit hard. But now, I'm in here, I'm going to set up Rain, the usual plan. I actually really enjoy using this team, it's a lot of fun. And then he shows the T-Wave, and that really factors into my thought process for the rest of the match, because I know Uxie is a bulky son of a bitch. I know that to be a fact. And had I come in with Kabutops at the range of HP it was at after that U-turn, it probably would have killed. Probably would have done. But I was so afraid because, you know, Kabutops and Mantine are like my two sweepers effectively. They're effectively scarfed when rain's up. So if they get T-waved, even with the rain up, they're fucking useless. Which is the main reason I really didn't want to go into them. But in comes a Moltres. I know he isn't going to go Fire Blast, because rain up. I figured he'd just go Air Slash. It made sense to me, so I'd go into Kabutops, knowing he's probably going to go Air Slash. I'll resist it. I might live. Goes for the Air Slash. It's going down, and oh no, oh, crap. I don't know if that mattered or not, but if it did, it completely changed everything, because that had Night Slash to kill the fucking Uxie. It's like Waterfall, like, seriously, I know it hasn't shown it, but when it gets the chance to get going, that Kabutops with Waterfall in the rain, with Choice Band and Stab, will wreck anything. I reckon that Uxie might live if it was fully defensive, but still, it would have been something. I could have brought in Crobat and U-turned it and been fine. But I switch into Mantine, I'm going to Hydro Pump it, or I go into Mantine and Hydro Pump it, and that fucking Moltres can die, piece of shit. He said it was choice specs as well, so that's why I wasn't sure if it did matter with a Kabutops crit, but again, it really hurt me. I would have loved to have my Kabutops around. So, I was kind of angry after that, but again, Kabutops has got pretty piss poor Special D, and despite the fact that it resists it, Moltres does have absolutely godly special attack and, you know, specs. That's insane. So in comes the Uxie. Again, I'm really worried about the T-Wave. Don't want to take any of that crap, so I go into my Lapras, and I figure I'm going to roar it, because, you know, that seemed like the safest play. But I am going to rest first, because I'm a bit low on HP. Not really. Not low by a sort of health bar point, but for me to live a super effective hit, Lapras needs to be at full HP or about 3/4. Otherwise it's boned. And he goes for the Zen Headbutt and I get paralyzed. I'm like, nah, the bastard. I actually really wanted to get the Roar off sooner, but look, yeah, I would rather rest up. And Lefties is slowly healing him, and had I roared, I reckon after Stealth Rock's coming back in, if he hadn't gotten any Lefties recovery, a Hydro Pump from the Mantine might have killed. It would have been close, but there you go. Here, if he flinches me or Parahaxes me, I die. But he misses, thank the Lord, and I rest. And I'm like, ha, all of your work was undone, except he got Lefties back, which, you know, is a lot more innocent than it seems. You know, people just put Lefties on crap just so they can get a little bit of HP back, but that Uxie is using its Lefties very well at the moment. But still, it's at full HP now. There isn't much I can do about it. He goes for a T-Wave, I guess, predicting a switch, maybe? But I go for the Sleep Talk. I get my Rain Dance. Very good. I needed that. Pretty much, remember against Hacked, I got 4 rests in a row. Well, in this one, I actually get all the things I wanted. I get my Rain Dance, and I get my Roar next turn. So, very helpful. So he's going to switch out, and he's going to go back into the Clefable, and I Sleep Talk, and then I Roar him out. Very nice. I'd rather not have that thing Metronome, a Thunder, or a Wood Hammer. That'd kind of suck. And then I see a Medicham, and I don't like the look of this Medicham. All Medichams are very scary, especially against this team, because while I have Mantine and Crobat to resist it, it's still a Medicham, and neither of them are, you know, defensive, so that kind of sucks. But I go into Crobat, thinking I would take the high jump kick fine, and he makes an awesome prediction, goes with Rock Slide, but it misses, and I was like, oh, praise Christ, I really needed that. Whoo, that could have been hideous, really. Then he goes to the Rock Slide here. I roost just to see how much, you know, the ballpark we're looking at as far as damage is concerned. Hits me down to 19. Now that is scary. An unstabbed Rock Slide. pretty much one-shotted my Crobat. So I really, really, really don't like that, and I plan on leaving very soon, because that is just bad times for my bet. I believe I go into Magnezone, because Magnezone is the only thing that's really going to take it well. It also has the Thunder and the T-Wave. You know, a lot of fun things that would be incredibly helpful at this point, especially on a Scarf Medicham. I would love a T-Wave, but he's going to make the switch and go into Tree of Might version 2, which is awful, especially against my Magnezone. I really, really, really didn't want that. So, he made an awesome prediction, even though I don't even think I'd brought my Magnezone in, but it worked insanely well. I mean, I'm not sure what he could have predicted there, but like I say, it worked for him. So I'm going to switch out and go into my Donphan. Now, in my experience, Torterra isn't that powerful, you know, and Donphan is, 200 HP and 252 defense, so max defense, nearly max HP. I figured I'd take this Woodhammer, you know, not well by any stretch of the imagination, but at least bloody live it. And look at that, pretty much max HP Donphan, and I die. And I was scared. Deeply, deeply scared, because that hit like a truck. It turns out he does have Life Orb as well, which, I suppose would have factored in, but like I say, I didn't see that coming at all. That was quite scary. But I go into my Mantine now, knowing that even though he has the Rock Polish, Torterra isn't exactly the quickest fecker in the world, so I should be able to outspeed, hit him with the Ice Beam, and waste his smug ass. Yeah, I said that. I couldn't really say it seriously, though. Go with the Ice Beam, kill him, he dies, stupid tree thing. Why does he have a tree on his back? It doesn't make any sense. Life Orb takes me down a bit more. The rain stops. Now, that's awful. Because he can bring in Medicham or Uxie, and Medicham will outspeed and kill me. With the rain up, I would have outsped it. And Uxie could have T-Waved me. He does bring... Oh, it would have lived the Hydro Pump because no rain. But he brings in the Medicham, and I kind of hoped he would go High Jump Kick and maybe miss. That was my one shot, really. I mean, in an ideal world, had he missed, I would have been okay. But he didn't. I know he's locked into it, so I am going to go into Crobat. I'm going to take the opportunity to Roost, because I really need my Crobat at high health. Especially with, you know, Stealth Rocks lying about. I really, really, really needed that. I'm going to Roost here, knowing I was going to live the High Jump Kick unless he got a crit. If he got a crit, that was it. I was done. Completely. But I get my Roost off. That's very helpful. Like I say, I need the Crobat at as high HP as I can have it at. So, I believe I actually go for a Taunt predicting the Uxie to come in. I believe... yes I do. And in comes an Ape, and I'm not liking the look of that. Not one bit. I haven't got Rain up, so I can't really counter it effectively. Magnezone is going to... Well, Magnezone and Lapras are going to get absolutely shit-faced from a close combat or Focus Blast. But I Roost to stay in, again, knowing my Crobat. You know, it won't take a Flare Blitz, but if it gets locked into Flare Blitz, Lapras might have a shot and I can get a Rain Dance up. But he goes for Fire Blast. I think he said he was Spexed at one point. But that's my ballpark. I was at max HP, and it did about 260. So, that is just awful. I don't want that. I mean, really, I don't really have anything to do. But he is actually going to switch out and go back into his Medicham. Now, this is where he gets kind of iffy and where it becomes a massive prediction game. Because if he goes High Jump Kick when I switch into Magnezone, I lose. Flat out. I can't kill the Infernape or this, because it probably has, you know, Psycho Cut. Or whatever the hell it is. I don't remember what the hell the thing's called. But if he goes Rock Slide or Psycho Cut now, when I bring in Magnezone, I might be okay, because I can T-Wave something. Like I say, what my main plan was, keep Crobat at high health, play the prediction game, and then T-Wave something on the Switch. Because I know two of his guys are choiced. He goes for the Psycho Cut, so that's good for me. Magnezone going to take that decently. He didn't enjoy it, but he'll deal with it. I do have a bit of HP invested in this guy. A bit of HP, I think a bit of special defense, and a bit of speed. And then just max special attack for the complete overkill super power of doom. Because that's what Magnezone is. And with a life orb, it's evil. But he's going to switch out, go into his Clefable. I go for my T-Wave. I know there's pretty much nothing it can do. Even if it Cosmic Powers up, I'm not afraid. Because Magnezone is fucking beastly. I go for my Rain Dance. And then he goes for his Metronome. He gets a Mirror Shot, which, kind of sucks. But, well, it's good for me because I resisted ×4. I get the accuracy drop, and he's like, oh, haha, you got the accuracy drop. I'm like, dude, Thunder, it's in rain. It doesn't physically miss. It can't miss while the rain's up, unless they use Fly or something. So I go for the Thunder, nearly takes him out. He goes for another Metronome, gets the Screech, and it misses. And I was like, oh, that's brilliant. Because if he brought in Medicham, and I wanted to play the prediction game again, I would have lost. Even if he did predict wrong, it still would have killed with that Screech there. So I go for another Thunder. He's like, oh, why aren't you missing? I'm like, dude, I just told you. Thunder and Rain. He's like, but I got the accuracy drop. I'm like, no, it's like Shockwave, except double the power. Which is why I love rain teams. I don't know why. In 5th gen, I generally hate weather, although I did quite like that sun team I made with the Torkoal. But for some reason in 4th gen, rain seems so much more appealing to me. I'll never understand why. Anyway, in comes old Ape again, and I am going to go back to Crobat, mainly because the rain is up and I'm not afraid of the fire move at all, in the slightest. I also know I'm quicker, so I can roost off the damage, so I should be okay. I switch into Crobat, and he goes for Overheat, and that was a bloody well-dodged bullet right there. Because if that had hit the Magnezone even in rain, that would have trucked it. I mean, look how much damage that did to the Crobat. Spexed Ape is a beast. But I know I'm quicker, I am going to roost it. I doubt at plus or -2 it's going to kill me. But, just in case, I'd like to make sure. It's always better to be safe than sorry, especially in a situation like this, where I've kind of played myself into it. So I go for the Roost. He goes for another Overheat. He kind of thought he'd be quicker. He kind of forgot I was quicker earlier. So that does crapple. I believe, I'm either going to play it safe and Roost, or I'm going to U-turn on the incoming Medicham, or Uxie, one of the two. Either that or that Uxie's dead. In comes the Medicham. I do U-turn on it. I was really hoping for a crit, because that was my one shot. If I could get rid of this Medicham, that Ape would go away. I could deal with it, vaguely, to a certain extent. It would be a pain, but it could be done. But, I U-turn, I go into Lapras, hoping he'll make the wrong prediction. So, effectively, predicting him to predict the Crobat to come back in. Or the Magnezone. But he doesn't. He goes for the high jump kick. He's got his prediction pants on far more than I do. And he's going to take out my Lapras. So, poor old Lapras was never going to take that. I mean, it's a Medicham. It's a fucking beast. So I bring back in Crobat again, knowing that he's locked into it. Again, my chances are slowly getting worse and worse. And my window of getting rid of his team and solving the problem is dwindling. But I couldn't just find, the right move. I mean, really, it was really fucking hard. So, I'm gonna Roost here, make sure my health is above half. Because if I'm gonna live a Fire Blast, that's what it needs to be, ideally. And in comes the Uxie. I think I actually go for a Taunt or U-turn. Because I figured he'd predict the Taunt, because he's seen it already. So, I go for the U-turn, predicting the Zen Headbutt, go into Magnezone, then I can T-Wave it, and then I get to play the kind of, will I hit or miss game, and go for the Thunder. He goes for the Zen Headbutt and misses. I'm going to say that did matter, because, a Zen Headbutt, even from an Uxie, and Magnezone has pretty much no investment whatsoever. So, I go for the, Thunder Wave. He gets Power Hacks. Again, probably did matter. because any hit on this Magnezone would mean that it wouldn't live anything. Not a Psycho Cut, not a Rock Slide. I go for the Thunder, I hit amazingly. He goes for his Thunder Wave, it's not too bad. I was kind of, my only hope of winning now is that he goes for the Psycho Cut or Rock Slide, predicting something with Medicham, or High Jump Kick misses, or all of the moves he can physically go for on his Ape miss. That's it. That's all I've got. I go for the Hidden Power Grass just to take it out. I was playing it safe. I wasn't going to ride my luck twice on that one. I'm a very low health, but if I can T-Wave the Ape, it'll be really tricky, but I might come out of it okay. But I don't. He goes for the Fire Blast, takes me out. So that effectively rendered it useless. I mean, I can roost stall the Ape and stall it out of PP, but all the Medicham has to do is come in, go for a Psycho Cut, and I die. And I don't run Brave Bird. I run Haze over Brave Bird, because in my opinion, Haze is more useful, and I do have things like Mantine and Kabutops, which are meant to be complete sweepers, and this Crobat's meant to be defensive, or special defensive, I suppose. I do go for the Roost here, just trying to stall him out, because I might be able to get one more kill, if he wants to play that game. He goes for the Fire Blast again. The one completely last chance I would have had is if I predicted him here to go into Medicham and went for a U-turn, and if I got a crit, and only a crit on that U-turn, I might have won. It depends whether he got a burn or a crit. But again, Theory Mons is boring. So, you know, I lost. That's the best way to put it. He's going to Psycho Cut me and win the match. So, thanks for the battles, Mil. He's a good buddy. I believe he has a channel, so I'll post that in the description. If he doesn't, then he doesn't, but I remember him saying he had a channel. So, go check out his stuff. He's pretty good. Pretty good battler. He comes up with some funky shit. I mean, that Clefable, man, it completely ruined me in the first battle. Probably would have, trucked me if I didn't tickle it enough. Anyway, more shit coming, guys, so keep on watching.